Okay, y'all, so we're going to try to get these bolt heads off. So I went to the hardware store and I got $12 of these. So all of these bolts are replaced with brand new grade 8 bolts, all 4 of them. I got them all out, everything. So yeah. Now, okay, y'all, good morning, good morning. The damn GoPro went dead on me. I did a video yesterday, but I ain't making no money. I'm just doing equipment stuff, you know, working on that brush cutter. I got all the blade bolts, all 12 of those blade bolts changed out. I got a little clip, some time-lapse stuff that I'll maybe insert while I'm yakking. So I got that done. I tack welded all those bolts, the 4 bolts that hold the, you know, the piston power motor on top of the bush hog or top of the brush cutter, whatever you want to call it. I tacked them, and I'll show y'all what I did. And at the end of the day, I'm not worried about having to take them off, because I can cut the power head, I can cut the head off of them, off those bolts, and pick the whole thing up, and then I can just back them out with a reverse kit or whatever. So it's more important to me for them not to back out than anything. I mean, there's nothing more important than that. So, but last week I looked at 2 jobs in my neighborhood. One of them I did, right, with the pine tree and all, and trimming those trees. I got that one done, and I got another one that I looked at the day I looked at that one, and but it's a little more involved. It's a bunch of stumps. He's going to build a fence, so he wants to clear, and he wants to get all these stumps out. There's a lot of them. They're not big. Some of them might take a minute or 2, and the other ones might take 15 minutes. I don't know. It's just according to how, you know, there's a lot that can go wrong. So, but that job that I did last week, that one only paid $1,000. Yeah, right. $1,000 and this one that I'm going to be doing starting on tomorrow, I factored in a day and a half, and we're at $2,400. So now I didn't tell him a day and a half, but I told him how much, and I'm hoping I can make money at $2,400. If I'm over there any longer than 2 days, I'm not doing as good as I should. But I don't think I'll be over there I don't think I'll be over there 2 days, to be honest with you. But that'll be, you know, a good job, right? And then I got a call from another customer. Now I've never worked for this person that I'm going to talk to now. When he texted me, was it yesterday? When he texted me yesterday, his number came up and whenever somebody calls me or whatever about work in the past, I put their address in, you know, as their name. So when he texted me, I was able to look at the text messages that me and him had. Well, I think it was back in June, and the last text message I sent him, I said, well, I can come over there and look at it this weekend. This is back in July, and see what you got. And he never responded, so he got somebody else. Cool, you know, I'm busy anyway that time of year. So anyway, so I talked to him last night, and I told him and I got all the information about what he wants to do. And apparently, you know, back during summer, he hired somebody and they didn't do the job correctly or as thorough as he thought they would or whatever, right? You never know. I mean, I know I'm going to do it thorough. I know that. So, anyway, he said that hey, he had some tree guys come out and they took some trees down. They half-ass grinded the stumps. They chipped up a bunch of limbs and they shot all the chips in a pile in the front yard. And I'm like, you know, if you're a homeowner, this is my thinking, just FYI, just a tip. If you're a homeowner and you got somebody like me coming to your property with a skid steer, don't let them create more work than what there was to begin with. A lot of contractors, and I'm telling you, a lot of contractors do this, and I've noticed it, is what they do. What contractors do, some of them, well, you hire them to do the work or whatever. They do the work, but then they leave you a pile or a mess or something that only a machine can take care of. And see, I don't ever do that. I'm conscious of that while I'm on the job. I don't want to leave them a mess or a pile of mulch or whatever, you know, just because I'm going to always be trying to figure out a way. If I grind the stumps, I'm going to be saying, hey man, what do you want to do with all the you know, chips? And they tell me. None of them ever tell me leave a pile in the front yard. Not ever. They never tell me that. They don't want to see them for the most part. And you know, even if you have to charge a little bit more, I never do, because I'm on the job. And a chipper, if you have a chipper out there and you chipped up a bunch of branches and just shot all the chips right in the middle of the front yard, well, now somebody's got to have a machine to move those chips. I don't, that's bad business, man, if you ask me. And I see a lot of contractors do that, because what that does is that as long as they can leave on good terms, that guarantees them more work another day. And the first thing I ask when customers are talking about doing chipping or stump grinding or tree removal or anything like that, where there's a potential to have a mess, I always ask them right up front before I ever even price it, what are you going to do with everything? What do you want to do with everything? Because to me, obviously to me, you're not going to pile everything up in the front yard. That's just ludicrous. But he said that's what they did. We'll see when we get over here. I'll get some video while I'm out here. But he's got a gravel driveway that he needs redone. Pretty good bit of work, you know, from what our conversation was. So now let's just, you know, just talk about the money, really. There ain't anything in the scope of outside stuff, skid steer stuff, that I can't do with skid steer. If the skid steer can do it, and then I can probably do it. Whatever that may be. It might be, you know, I can grade, I can do the driveway, I can brush cut, I can grind stumps, I can, you know, move piles around. But I never would have left a pile of debris in the front yard. He said what they did is they just quit coming. They were supposed to come back and do this, and that, and they never did. And I hear that all the time. That's the same way I got the job I'm doing tomorrow, and the job I did last week in my neighborhood. And it's the same reoccurring theme that I'm seeing with contractors in my area. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know, you know, if it's a homeowner or what. I don't know. I just know that I get a lot of work coming in behind somebody, and what I think it is they want to get the work, they get the money, or they get the work and the potential of good money, and then they realize they're not going to make good money at it because, well, they don't own the equipment or whatever. That's usually what what happens when guys try to compete with guys like me that own the equipment. If you own the equipment, outright own it, then you can do the job and make more money. You could actually even charge more than what they would and be able to keep more of it too. Of course, you got to pay for the equipment, but that's peanuts compared to what you're making. What I've seen a lot of guys do is they'll bid a job and they'll come in with a friendly number, and the number is too damn friendly. And when it's too friendly, watch out. That means they ain't got no equipment. And if they ain't got no equipment, they're not gonna be able to do. They're not gonna be able to do the job like I can, because I'm bringing equipment. If I can't use equipment, I'm not gonna do the job probably. So I'm just saying, y'all. So is he wanted? So y'all gonna keep the building right there?
No.
I mean, it's almost like
to move it back there, but he can't get anybody to move it.
Right. I mean, it's too, yeah. My machine could pick it up and nudge it around, but it ain't gonna move it no heavy distance or nothing. Oh yeah.
Well, my thought is I don't want to do it.
Yeah. So you want to get this tree right here, all right, and this pine tree too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably go for that.
Yeah, and well, all the little stuff, a byproduct of.
Right.
Yeah, it ain't nothing, man. You know. And what about this one? That's pretty much all the ones you really got to worry about hitting your building.
We could set that thing back here.
Well, like, look, lay it right up in that little roadway right there.
Drainage ditch.
Is that? But there ain't no pipe or nothing there, is there?
No.
Yeah. It's pretty tall. But just notch it and drop it right down in here. That's what, if you weren't here to tell me, that's what I would do. Let it drop right in there. More toward that side, right? If it just came right down on that rim of that ditch.
I'd like to get this all cleaned up. You got one of those grinders?
Well, I got it's not a forestry mulcher, but it does pretty good for little stuff like this.
Yeah, four stumps here I want to get out of there.
And then, of course, with these right here, you want to get the stumps too, right? Or not?
Probably be a good idea.
I mean, if we're here, well, it comes back to how much, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it comes. Okay, so those 3 trees, right? Now, in this stump over here, right?
See, my plan is to, once the building's up, move that fence to the corner here.
Right. Just bring it, just straighten it out.
Yeah, and then I can try and plant some grass in there. I don't know.
Well, and while I'm here with the machine, we can backfill some of this too, right?
Sure.
I mean, I want to try to get this, when I grind this stump right here, I'm going to be in there and we're going to try to scoop some of that stuff this way. Right? I mean, that's what I would do. I'd want to get this backfilled as quick as I can.
Yeah.
You know, just, I don't know. Well, then you see what you're working with too. you want to be able to see what you're working with, so if you got to spend more money, buy more material or whatever, you know what you got to do. You know, so that stump, that little stump beside it, that stump, and then the stumps on the inside there. Okay, are those all the stumps?
Yeah.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 stumps. Is that the stumps and then the trees?
But I don't want to move this fence until.
Yeah, you got to know what you're working with, till you can actually do it. And you're not going to move the corner though, are you? You're just going to pivot.
I'm going to have to move the corner.
Are you coming all the way to the slab?
I'm going to come all the way up to here.
Oh, you're going to come straight from the house. I see. I see what you're doing.
Got 3 dogs. And they love to be outdoors.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. The woods, they love the woods. You got a pretty good bit of work over here, man.
Tell me about
You know, you really do.
Tell me about it.
So I need to work you up it's going to be more than a day of work.
Yeah.
You know, so we want to make it worthy of what you're spending.
Well, I'm
right?
thinking the main thing right now is maybe get these 3 trees down and the stumps ground.
And we want to make sure that we're doing that, because to get me to come back, you're going to be back at the minimum again.
Yeah.
Right? So even if you have to put it off for a week or 2 weeks, a month, it's worthy of trying to get a bigger picture of everything you want to do and let the machine do everything in one whop. Even if you have to put it off a little bit because of money or whatever.
Right.
You know, it's because if you do it in pieces, it's going to cost you twice as much.
Oh, sure.
Whether you hire me or somebody else.
I know it.
You know, we can definitely do the trees and the stumps all. I think we can do the trees and the stump, these 3 trees. Now, we're not hauling them off though, right?
No, I'm going to leave them here, I guess.
I'll
have to do that.
Okay, y'all. So I just pulled back up to the house and fixing to go in the shop here. We'll show y'all what I did yesterday on the brush cutter. The brush cutter is ready to go. Test it out and everything. But before I do that, I wanted to show y'all this little gadget that I got. I thought it was pretty cool. You know, I've been doing the YouTube videos for a long time, and I'm always having a problem with the batteries and stuff, and then the backup batteries, and I'm always having a problem with the camera going dead on me and stuff. So you would think that they would make something that's reasonable that has a battery in it already, but they're really expensive. Basically what I've done is, let me show y'all. I bought one of these. Now, this is not your average backup battery thing, right? This is a really good one, and it's really handy to do with action cameras, because see the hole in it? See that? I mean, ain't that sweet, man? You just stick it on there, screw it in, right? Voila. Now, you can just take this cable, plug it right into your camera, and this right here screws into a tripod or anything else that you may have. So, like right now, I got it set to where it'll go on my tripod. So when I'm on the jobs and stuff, and I can just put this on the tripod like this, and the battery won't never go dead. Don't ever have to worry about it. And this is 9,000. What is it? I'll put an image up of what it is. And I know I can get ones that are cheaper, but they don't hook to the damn thing. That's what ends up happening to these things. They get lost, left, and damaged because, well, they're laying on the ground, they're in the floor of the skid steer or whatever. So, yeah, I thought this was a pretty cool feature.